We'll get started. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunanayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Is audio reasonably okay?
Yeah, audio is.
Is any issue, just signal. So, yeah, Surendra ji, can you unmute yourself? We are going to chant statement number 3.6. Nanu Sahankarasya. Nanu Sahankarasya Kinchignyasya Jivasya Nirahankarasya Sarvajnasya Ishwarasya Tattvamasiti Tattvamasi. Not api, it is asi, asi, A-S-I. Tattvamasi iti mahavakyat katham abheda buddhihi syat ubhayoho viruddha dharma akrantatvat. Yeah. So you can remain unmuted. Him, you can unmute yourself also. So Acharya ji is talking about having explained Srishti. So both the so different types of Srishti we talked about, starting from Pancha Mahabhutas onwards. So from Brahma, Akasha, Sambhutaha, like that we started. Pancha Mahabhutas, then Mahabhautikas, and then so there is some noise probably from him side. Huh? Okay. Sthula Shariram, like that he concluded the Srishti with that. And once Sthula Shariram is explained, then the entire world is explained. So entire world is Pancha Mahabhuta. And then he is now talking about Jiveshwara Aikyam. So talking about the identity, essential identity between Jiva and Ishvara. That is the topic we are in right now. So earlier he said, he indicated that the Jiva and Ishvara are essentially identical. And the benefit of knowing the identity being the cessation of samsara, he mentioned that. And therefore, having said that, it raises a doubt in the question, in the mind of the student. And the student asks the question in this sentence 3.6 that we read just now. The student asking the question. So Nanu, he's raising an objection. He said, Katham abheda buddhihi syat. How can I entertain this identity, this idea of equality between Jiva and Ishvara? This is the question student is asking, which is understandable. Because where am I? I am part of the world. I am a minute part of the world. And the world which was created by Ishvara, we say, Srishtikarta. And how can you equate the product and the creator? It is not possible. And you're not making sense to me. This is what he says. Katham abheda buddhi syat. So this we were seeing last time. And the student also tells, he says, Tattvabodha mahavakyat. By you teacher, by saying Tattvabodha, this statement, how I can understand that? How do you want me to swallow this such a big statement? This is what he's asking. So many misconceptions are there in life. We don't understand many things properly. Common things, relationships, and other facts in life we don't understand. Diseases we don't understand properly. So when there is a misconception, the misconception doesn't go away by itself. So somebody has to point out. So I say, oh, that person your friend is the mayor of this city. Then that person, she says, no, he's not the mayor. He is the brother of the mayor. That is whom you met the other day. I said, oh, I see. So one misconception clarified. Like this, constantly in our daily life, if you notice, in our dialogues with each other, we clarify misconceptions. So only an inquiry resulting in confirmed knowledge will thoroughly remove a misconception. And so if you look at, let's say this so many years ago, there was a rocket was sent by America to moon, and I forget what. And this rocket, this thing exploded. The space vehicle exploded a few minutes after takeoff, couple of minutes after takeoff. And our Juhi, that Kalpana Chawla was there in that. And we remember that very well. So if you look at, if the question is asked, how did this happen? Why did a vehicle which was supposed to reach a particular destination and then come back, why did it disintegrate within a couple of minutes? Then it's a very important question and very complicated to answer. So I established a commission, and then they investigate. Several scientists get together and look at all the reports and recordings of what happened, and you can imagine what kind of analysis might have gone on there. And the result may be obvious quickly, or may take months or years to arrive at. So investigation is needed, asking questions and clarifying, answering. And in our daily life also, when we somebody is sick, whether we are sick or somebody is sick at home, a good doctor will ask these questions himself, and by starting questioning the patient, and then say what happened, how did this happen, when did this happen, did you go out somewhere, did you drink some other water, this, that, like this. They ask these questions, and on top of that they do a lot of tests. So these lab tests are essentially meant to reveal facts, and so that the doctor can identify what is the right cause or causes. So this is this is what happens. And so in our Shastram also, having looked into the Tattvam of this Jagat, the truth of this world, and this world including this Jiva is not separate from the world. They attack this question. The entire Shastram, the purpose of the Shastram, final purpose of the Shastram, if you ask a question like that, then we will say it is meant to demystify, remove any confusions the Jiva has about the reality of the world and the reality of myself. And it concludes by saying what is called a Mahavakyam. Mahavakyam. Now, if we go to a Sanskrit dictionary and look for the word Mahat or Maha, and then look for the word Vakyam, we will get some meanings. So Mahat means great, big, grand, etc. So, and Vakyam means sentence. So great sentence, big sentence. So big sentence means what? Tattvam Asi is only 3 words actually. It's actually a very small sentence. It's one of the smallest sentences you can make in Sanskrit. So it's not a big, size-wise, it's not a big sentence. But it is a sentence which equates Jiva and Ishvara. A sentence whose clarity, whose understanding helps us in our life. In a way, in a big way. Therefore, it's called a Mahavakya. It helps us in a way that nothing else helps us. Nothing else in the world. No other piece of knowledge can help us in this way. And therefore, this is called a Mahavakya. And so we have many Mahavakyam, many these Mahavakyas, Mahavakyani. And in our Vedas, in the Upanishad, a Mahavakyam typically appears in an Upanishad. Doesn't appear in the Karma Kanda portions normally. Why is that? Karma Kanda means what? Karma Kanda means a description of a particular ritual or a talk about dharma, what to do and what not to do, and how to achieve this dharma, kama, and artha. Anything to do with dharma, kama, and artha, when the Vedas talks about, it is called karma kanda. It means in order for me to achieve these things that I want, that every human being wants, then it talks about how to achieve that, and it gives various ways. If I know of a way to achieve something, I will do it. If I can't, and if I need some help, I seek the Vedas. I want a child, I don't have a child. The Vedas says if you can't get a child, then there is something that's blocking you both from having a child. And so if the doctors also are unable to help you, then the Vedas can say, with Shraddha, if you come and if you do the following ritual called Putra Kameshti, then you should have a child. This is what the Vedas says. So like this, the Vedas talks about the areas of dharma, artha, and kama. This is karma kanda. Karma kanda, because karma is involved. You must do something. It makes you do something. That is called karma kanda. It addresses the one who talks to the Veda or one who approaches the Veda and says, okay, you want this, then you do this. Karma kanda. Then at the end of it, the person says, no, this karma is only making me go round and round. And when will this stop? If somebody asks, then it pushes the person to Jnana Kanda. And that is where we saw Upanishads is essentially a synonym for the word Jnana Kanda. So of the many Upanishads we have, so there is the Aitreya Upanishad in Rigveda, which has a Mahavakyam called Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. Then there is the Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. So that is in Yajurveda, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Aham Brahmasmi. Then there is Tattvamasi in an Upanishad called Chandogya Upanishad, which is part of the Samaveda. And then another famous Mahavakya is Ayam Atma Brahma, which comes from the Atharvana Veda, which is in the Mandukya Upanishad. So there are other Mahavakyas also, and these are the 4 popular ones. And among these 4, Tattvamasi is also quoted, and probably they say it is popular. So I don't know what this word popular means. So it's quoted often, and I suppose that's why it's popular. And there is an English equivalent of that also, which is quoted. So that thou art and all, they say you are that and things like that. So popular. And so here the author Swamiji quotes that Mahavakyam here. Through this student quotes it. Tattvamasi iti. Like that he quotes here. Tattvamasi Mahavakyat means from this Mahavakyam, how do you want me to grasp, appreciate this Abheda Buddhihi, this identity? That is what the student is asking here. And the student got it, in the sense, she understood that, yeah, the Mahavakya is an important sentence, and therefore it is called Upadesha Vakyam. Upadesha Vakyam because Upadesha means teaching. So after the introduction is given, Shastram, this is how it is taught. First introduction is given, and And the student is made to appreciate some of the basics of what one is seeking, etc. And then gradually, when the substance, the main content is taught, and then finally the teacher says, therefore Tattvamasi. Therefore, having understood Tat and Tvam, you are that. That is the approach. And that is how in Chandogya Upanishad also, Uddhalaka, the father, teaches the son, Shvetaketu, and gives various examples. And then finally says, Tasmat Tattvamasi, He Shvetaketu, Mritiketyeva Satyam. Like that, the father concludes the teaching. And so it's called Upadesha Vakya. It is a statement that imparts a particular teaching, a particular fact to be unfolded, concluded. You can say that. Upadesha Vakya. And also called Abheda Bodhaka Vakyam. Bodhaka Vakyam means it's a statement that imparts knowledge, that teaches. Bodhakam. Abheda Bodhakam. So a statement that imparts the knowledge of non-difference, or Aikya Bodhaka Vakyam. So Aikyam, by now you know, Aikyam means oneness. So we should say identity is better. So this is what we were studying in the last class. And so the student is asking, yeah, I have a doubt. It's not a small doubt. It's a pretty big doubt. That is why you didn't say that, but that is the implication here. How I still didn't follow what you're saying. So let's see here. So going back to the sentence. So we saw the student is actually explaining why he doesn't understand. He says Jivaha. You look at those three words, Sahankarasya, Kinchijnasya, Jivasya. So that is one group of words you must put in parenthesis, not parenthesis, but that is one group of words. So this Jiva, which has a Ahankara, Sahankaraha, and who is small knowing, Alpajnaha. We saw that last time. And the next three words, Nirahankarasya, Sarvajnasya, Ishwarasya, is one group of words referring to Ishvara. Ishvara who has no Ahankara, the student says, means no need for Ahankara, no need for Manas. Because only when there is ignorance, Manas is needed. When there is no ignorance, this Manas is not there. And Sarvajnaha, all-knowing. Because everything is Ishvara, when we say Ishvara must be all-knowing. This all-knowing entity, all-pervasive entity is there. And how can this all-compassionate, all-knowledge, all-Aishwaryam, all-Viryam, we saw 6 qualities of Bhagavan, Bhaga. How can that be same as me? Me, if they ask me to describe me, I can say a few things. But after 2 minutes, I can't say much. And if they want to know a lot about my grandparents and their parents and all, I may say a few things. Even there, I don't know the name of my grandfather and grandmother. I'm scratching my head. And this guy is supposed to be the same as Ishvara. How is it possible? That is what he's clearly stated. Ubhayoho means what? Of the two. Ubhaya in Sanskrit means two. Two. Ubha. So Ubhayoho Viruddha Dharma Akrantatvat. Because these two things are completely different. The qualities of dharma is viruddham, opposite. Not just different. Different, at least I can try to say, okay, ABTK, OBTK, I can manage. So you go to the restaurant, you ask for the day we went somewhere and some months ago, and we asked that I took somebody and she asked for something and they didn't have it. They didn't have some paratha or something. And so, okay, then what do you have? then we have this and that, idli, dosa, etc. So, okay, I'll take dosa. So I can manage, and okay, they're all in the same same order of reality, and I won't collapse if one particular food is not there. So I can handle that. But here it is not simply different. Viruddham, completely opposite. One is creator, another is created, and these two can't be equal. So that is what is said here. So did I give the meaning of this this sentence last class? So go ahead, unmute yourself, him, and there's no noise.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there in the last class.
You did give.
Okay, I gave the meaning of this 3.6. Okay, that's fine. So there is no yogyata. Yogyata means yogyata. Yogyata means what? This sentence Tattvabodha has no yogyata. It is not acceptable at all.
Okay.
It is like the example, the elephant went last night into my ear and came out of the other ear. So somebody hears this, they will start wondering, even the child will look and say, a child will be honest. Will say, uncle, did you mean elephant going into the ear? Did I hear elephant? How can elephant go into the ear? I don't understand. So the child will quickly protest because they're all innocent and nothing stops them. So here also a kind of a protest is there. How? So this tells us one thing. Our Shastram is always dialogue based. Dialogue based. Ordinary subjects itself one can learn only when the teacher allows for dialogue. And so that fear aspect should not be there. Only then the students will feel comfortable, and the questions that are there, which is normal for any thinking mind, will come out, and then teaching will flower, and children will learn in schools, etc. So same thing here also. But here Shraddha is needed. Another level of Shraddha is needed, because what is being talked about is Viruddha Dharma, apparently opposite attributes. Okay, good. So this is what the student has said, and now let's see what the teacher says. So Sunita Chavendra, if you can unmute yourself. Iti chet
Iti chet
na
na
sthula sukshma
sthula sukshma
sharirabhimani
sharirabhimani
tvam pada vachyarthaha.
vachyarthaha.
Yeah, we can continue with the next one also. Upadhi
Upadhi
vinirmuktam
vinirmuktam
samadhi
samadhi
dasha sampannam
dasha sampannam
shuddham
shuddham
chaitanyam
chaitanyam
tvam
pada
lakshyarthaha.
lakshyarthaha.
Yeah. So here some ideas about communication and context. These things we have to understand. And once we do that, we will understand this sentence. So in literature, in philosophy, in many subjects, there is something called padam, a word, and then something called padartha. Padartha means meaning of a word. How does communication happen? So the communication department and other people, professors and scientists in these departments will study all these things. These are some of the basics. How does understanding occur? How does the word convey a meaning? All these questions they ask. So same thing here also, it's important. We need to come back to that topic. And so it's languages, literature. This kind of discussion happens in those departments. In our normal communication, we don't deeply think about these things, but we do understand that communication is important, and we do understand where, when the context is not understood, there is confusion, there is misunderstanding, and we call people up and said, oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you, and therefore I said this. All this happens in our life. And when somebody says something, how do I know if the other person has understood it? This is why communication, when we talk to children, we should be very clear about all this. And so many things are involved in communication. Just by releasing a few words from the mouth does not mean I have communicated. All that is happening here. So when I say table, when I say, please look at this book that you purchased, which is on your table. If I say, it's very clear, everybody understands that statement. There is a particular book which is on an object called a table, and please go and seek it out. Like that, we all understand when a sentence is stated. Did you drop off your daughter at school today? So very very simple sentence, simple words, simple sentence which has a very particular meaning. The elephant is a giant. If I say, among animals, elephant is a giant. If I say, yeah, that's also, elephant is understood, giant, big, size, all that is understood. Suppose I say, Shakuntala Devi is a giant in mathematics. So those days, Shakuntala Devi, I think is, I don't think she's alive today, is she? She's not alive. Some years ago, I think we heard she passed away. So we used to be in awe of Shakuntala Devi. So Shakuntala Devi is a giant in mathematics. When we say, we don't think of the physical size of the person. We immediately change the context and say, oh, this giant means an expert, a competent, gifted. So those kinds of ideas come to our mind, and it's an attribute of the mind. It has nothing to do with the physical body. So immediately in our conversations, we bring context in. So in one case, elephant is a giant. If I say it is literal, in the sense it talks about what is pratyaksham, what is visible to us, and that's literal. Versus Shakuntala Devi is a giant if we say it is figurative. Figurative. Somebody says, the mother says, tells the son, do you want to have a banana? Yes, mom, please give me a banana. So mother gets a banana. And then after 5 minutes, mother comes back. So, did you have the banana? And the son says, yes. But I see the peel outside on the table. How come? I thought you wanted the banana. I gave you the banana. You didn't have the banana completely. What? You didn't have the banana. You left out the peel. And the son says, Mom, come on. You can't be serious. Like that argument goes. So a context immediately changes, right? Get the banana means mother doesn't peel the thing banana and then gives the pulp to the child. No. Banana means comes with the peel. And did I have the banana means because I'm not a cow, because I'm not an elephant, because I'm not a horse, I generally will leave the peel out. This is how this is understood. So context is different. So we can't take, if you look at that, a word, how its meaning changes when we say things without our realizing. This happens in our communications. We do it very routinely and very naturally it comes to us. So somebody comes home and he says, how long did it take? From Madurai, you drove to Coimbatore. And yeah, it took so many hours. And the highways, they've done a good job. And I came at 100 kilometers per hour on this particular highway. So I did 100. So I did 100 means what? This guy ran at 100 kilometers per hour or what? And this guy was comfortably sitting in the car and he was not even driving. The driver was driving. And he comes and says, I did 100. What is the meaning of that? I didn't do anything. I was just taking a nap. I was snoring in the back seat. And then he says, I did 100. So context, we are good at context. Understanding context and taking it appropriately. So there, lakshyartha. So did you eat the banana? You have to interpret. And what is implied by a particular word or a sentence, we take that. When we have to look at the implied meaning, then we use the word lakshyartha. When we want to take the literal meaning, when we want to take the primary meaning, or when we want to take the original meaning, dictionary meaning need not be primary meaning. Anyway, literal is best. Then we call it vachyartha. Literal meaning is called vachyartha. We use it in the Shastram very often. And vachyartha means literal meaning of a word. Lakshyartha means implied meaning of a word. That is what is being indicated here. So lakshyartha can mean what? Implied meaning. Sometimes we can say secondary meaning. Sometimes we can say indirect meaning, figurative, contextual. All these things, when you have to bring in context, then it is no longer direct meaning, it is implied meaning. So that is lakshyartha. So now, come back to Tattvamasi. Tvam. The word Tvam in Tattvamasi. So Tat, Tvam, Asi. There are three words in this sentence. Tat means that. Tvam is you. Asi means are. You are that. You are that. So Tvam, we saw this earlier. Tvam is you. Suppose I say, you are lean. You are lean. Then clearly we are referring to the physical body, a particular attribute of the physical body. So thin, you are thin. Normally for your height, we would expect you to be bigger, but you are not that big. That is what we mean. You are lean. So referring to sthula shariram. So now that we know what sthula shariram is, we can say refers to sthula shariram. Annamaya Kosha also. Earlier we studied Annamaya Kosha. We referred to Annamaya Kosha, Sthula Sharira. Why? Because we know it's not referring to the mind, it's not referring to the senses. Your eyesight is lean, nobody says. All this we know. So we exclude all that. We refer to the Sthula Sharira. You seem to be hungry. Referring to Sukshma Sharira. Correct? You seem to be hungry. So you're munching. I've been watching for the last 10 minutes. You're constantly picking something other than. Are you hungry? You seem to be hungry. Sukshma Shariram Pranamaya Koshaha. We are referring to that. We're not referring to the body. Body can't be hungry. We know that. Body can't express hunger. Body is inert. But there is a physiological system of hunger. We saw that as Pranamaya Kosha. Then what? Then you seem to be disturbed. Also Sukshma Shariram, Manomaya Kosha. Are you short-sighted? Are you short-sighted? Is that the glasses you are wearing? Are you short-sighted? Then again, Sukshma Shariram. So Indriyani. And like this we say, oh, you are an expert. You are an expert in the construction of bridges. If I say, then what? The person, the architect of the bridges doesn't have to be big in size. He doesn't have to lift any weight, nothing. But still he is an expert, she is an expert. So expertise here referring to Vijnanamaya Koshaha. Right? Vijnana, intellect. Also Sukshma Shariram. Like this we have understood. So constantly either referring to the Sthula Shariram or the Sukshma Shariram. So a person says, I am an expert, I am this, I am that, I have this degree, and I got this award. So many statements we make. So we are constantly referring to either the Sukshma Shariram or the Sthula Shariram. And so here the teacher says, Sthula Sukshma Sharirabhimani. Abhimani. What is Abhimani? So Abhimana. So I think it means the same in Tamil, Hindi, everything. It means the same. Abhimana means there is a sense of I-ness. I connect with something and then I become that. When I say, this is my child. Who is this? This is my child. And she is doing this, that. If I say, then suddenly I almost become my child and I connect so much with my child. And so that is called Abhimana. Abhimana. So here Acharya ji is referring to the connection I have with my Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. Sthula Shariram is fat, is lean. I say I am fat, I have to lose pounds. I say, body doesn't say that. Body is not afraid of gaining weight. But I am afraid of gaining weight. So that aham, that jivaha is Sthula Sukshma Sharirabhimani. And he says, Tvam-pada Vachyartha. So that the word Tvam-pada, the word Tvam refers to what? Here it refers to the one who identifies with the Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. And that is called Vachyartha. When Tvam is identified with the Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram, then we are taking the Vachyartha. We are taking the direct meaning of Tvam. There's nothing wrong with that. It is called Vachyartha. That is what he is saying. Nothing wrong. And then he says, then of course he says, Iti Chetna. Iti Chetna. Iti Chet means what? If you say so, if you think so, then no, na, na, dosha, tatra dosha asti. In your understanding, there is a flaw. That is the meaning of this iti chet na, iti chen na. So when we say you are lean, you are hungry, etc., we are referring to so many different aspects of this body, mind, sense complex. Then who are you if the Shastra wants to point out? The Shastra will say, the one in whose presence all these ideas are possible, the one in whose presence all these are known and possible. In order to say I am lean, I am fat, I must be there. So that I and that Tvam, that you who is present, that is Lakshyartha. That is the implied meaning of Tvam. Implied meaning of Tvam. Which is what he is going to say. He says, Shuddha Chaitanyam Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. That Shuddha Chaitanyam, that pure consciousness, if you want to literally translate it, is the implied meaning of Tvam. Implied meaning. So, when somebody makes a contradictory statement, then there are two possibilities. One is the person doesn't know what they are talking about. That's possible. We have to account for that also. So, we don't say all contradictory statements must have some meaning in it and all that. No, we don't spend analyzing all these statements. And the person is gone case, we just let go. And constantly he's saying this and the next day he's saying that, and black and white, there's no connection at all. So, contradictory statement means that is one possibility. Other possibility is when the source of the statement is something that I trust, that I have so much trust in, and the statement is being made deliberately, not casually, not by the way, then we say on the part of the speaker there is something called Tatparyam. Tatparya. There is some intention is there. Something is there in the mind that needs to be conveyed, and it appears to you a bit jarring, bit contradictory or very contradictory, but there is something that is intended to be said. This is called Tatparya. There is no real contradiction. There is only an apparent contradiction. That is the situation we are in right now. So we are seeing an equation between Tat and Tvam. There is an equation, Asi. Asi means it's an equation. You are that. It is not you are part of that. It is not you will be that. At least if the Shastram says after death, you will be that. Okay, that let it be so. That is fine. I have a lot of problems right now, but let it be so. I will be that, and I'm looking forward to that, or I'm not looking forward to that. Whatever. We can argue, we can talk, we can over lunch or dinner, we can talk about that. It doesn't say you will be that. It says you are that. That is why it becomes a very important equation. So, if you look at some examples, some mathematical equations, suppose 5 is equal to 5. If somebody writes that equation on the board, on a piece of paper, then it's not an interesting equation, because what do you mean by saying 5 is equal to 5? And it's very obvious, and it's very evident 5 is 5 only. You're not even making I don't know if you even can call it an equation. So you're simply writing something And yeah, 5 is equal to 5, that's fine. We can accept that. So when when two things are identical, then there is no need for an equation. There is no need for an equation. Now, when evidently two things are not the same, 8 is equal to 9. If somebody says, then we say an equation is not possible. When evidently there are two different things, then equation is not possible. Equation is not possible. They're two different things. Not possible. But then, if somebody says 2 plus 3 is equal to 100 minus 95. 2 plus 3 is equal to 100 minus 95. Somebody says that. Then, in order to understand this equation, you can now imagine, all those of you who have children know this very well, how much you have struggled. How many, this childhood and learning the letters, alphabet and all these things, mathematics and writing. Now my son can write up to 1 to 100, they will say. Oh yeah, really? Can you do that? Yes. Can you say that? Yes, I can say it. I can say it fast also. Very fast I can say it. Oh really? You can say fast also? Oh my God. Then if you say fast, I can't understand it. Okay, I'll say it a little slowly for your sake. So like this, we have all these dialogues with children. And so learning these numbers, then go to school somewhere and suddenly addition one day. And this concept comes, and then slowly all these things happen. Such a simple equation, at least to say simple, you need a lot. Only after knowing a lot, something becomes simple. And so when there is something seemingly different, left hand side is different, 2 plus 3, right hand side 100 minus 95. The sign is different, plus and then minus. Numbers, digits are all different. And no child will say these two are identical. It's going to take the child a long time, many years, to actually appreciate a statement like this. So when something is seemingly different, but essentially identical, then and only then an equation is possible. Correct? This much we know. So that non-contradiction that is there in an equation like this, mathematical equation, the non-contradiction must be understood. Can only be understood. There is no other way of resolving this equation 2 plus 3 is equal to 100 minus 95. You don't have to. You can say 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, 100 minus 95 is equal to 5, therefore these two are identical. You can say all that. But it is all based on understanding only. There's no magic going on here. It's all understanding, pure cognitive understanding. So, coming back to, so this contradiction must be understood, must be explained and understood. And then what about the differences? If we say, hey, but there are differences, what do you say about that? Then we will say the differences are apparent, they are superficial. Yeah, we accept there are differences. 2 is different from 3, is different from 100, is different from 95. All that we accept. We are not denying any of that. But essentially, these two are identical. That is what we are saying, that identity has to be understood. Okay. So then, Tvampaja Vachyartaha, when we refer to the Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram, it is from the standpoint of what? We talked about Upadhi. So from the standpoint of Upadhi, we get into this, you are lean, you are hungry, etc. These statements refer to the Upadhi of the person. And clearly, Upadhi means limitation. Upadhi means attributes. And the qualities that we are talking about, such as small and brown and black color, you are dark, you are fair, etc., when they say, it refers to the Upadhi. They are the attributes of the Upadhi. This much we understand. The qualities belong to the Upadhi. And then the Atma is what? Atma, of course, is distinct from the Upadhi. And then back to the Upadhi, and then the Upadhi is what makes this person, the student, say Sahankara, the one with an Ahankara. Means one who is associated with this Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, and Kinchignya, one who knows, but knows very little. So that Upadhi is what makes the person say that. And then what about the Lakshyartha, Tvampada Lakshyartha? Is Shuddha Chaitanyam. If you take the Upadhi away, we need to understand what is the meaning of taking the Upadhi away. I'll explain in a bit. So, Upadhi Vinirmuktam, if you look at yourself as being independent of the Upadhi, because the Upadhi is variable, the body keeps changing. I can't be that changing thing. And if I'm short-sighted now, I was not short-sighted earlier, then what? Am I changing, or is my eyesight changing? These questions, if I start asking, then I can clearly see that there is an eye that is unchanging. So the crystal on the table complains, saying, one day I was there. It tells me, hey, dear, you're using me as an example. One day I was shining bright, and in the store I was glittering, and now you have put me here, and you have placed me next to a flower, and I have changed my color. I am now red. Crystal is complaining, remember. Now, for the crystal to complain, you must put a human mind in the crystal. Human mind must be there. Otherwise, crystal cannot complain. So, you put a human mind in the crystal, and then it starts talking like this. And what is this you have done like this? At least there I had so many friends, and I was next to here. One day I was next to a plate, and another day I was next to a jar, and I used to go around. And here it's all so boring, and sometimes you lift me up also, and I get scared, and you don't wash me at all. And even if you wash me, you don't wash me properly. And like this goes on complaining. And I've become dark. That is the problem. Crystal's problem is I have become dark. Now tell me, how to tell the crystal? Now the job of the teacher is to tell the crystal, hey, you have not become dark. You are still the glittering, shining crystal that you were when I purchased you. How to tell? Crystal thinks I am dark. What to do? So now the crystal has to come to a Vedanta class. Only then we can make it understand. So now the red crystal, red being the Upadhi, the flower being the Upadhi, which gave the quality of redness to the crystal. What does the crystal need to do in order to appreciate, in order to understand that it is a crystal? Should the flower be removed? Should the red color be scraped off from the crystal? What is to be done? We say nothing has to be done. The crystal has to understand that it is a crystal. That is all to be done. The redness, let it be. Let the red color become yellow color. And let it become blue lily. Put a blue lily there and let it become blue color. The crystal should be unaffected by that. This is called crystal clear knowledge. Correct? The knowledge must be as crystal clear as the knowledge that the crystal is going to get. So, therefore, Upadi Vinirmuktam, when we say, we are not saying go drop off your Upadi. You must die to this body. You must give up this body. No, no such thing. Vedanta doesn't talk like that. Upadi Vinirmuktam means with this body, with whatever you have, you are free. You are Shuddha Chaitanyam. You don't have to do anything to recognize this. You just have to recognize it. This is the statement that is being made here. So let's translate this and then. So, iti chet na. If it is so, it means what? If that is your argument, comma, no. Within brackets, you can say, no, there is no real difference. If this is so, if this is your argument, if it is so, no, there is no real difference. The immediate meaning of the word, so I'm using the word immediate meaning for vachyartha. The immediate meaning, what strikes you first is called the immediate meaning. The immediate meaning of the word you is the one who is identified, with the physical and subtle bodies. Is the one who is identified with the physical and the subtle bodies. The implied meaning of the word you, is pure consciousness, Shuddha Chaitanyam. The one who is free from, the one who is free from upadhis. I'm not going to translate that word upadhi, the one who obtains during an experience of, subject-object resolution. The one who obtains during an experience of subject-object resolution. So we'll continue this. You want me to repeat any of this?
Can you repeat the last sentence, Marjan?
Yeah, so the last second sentence is, the implied meaning of the word you is pure consciousness, the one who is free from upadhis, the one who obtains during an experience of subject-object resolution, which we will see that part, we will see in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Lokas Samastas Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Shoyam Kshobharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukhabhag Bhaved Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम